What's up guys, my name is Ashton here and I'm going to show you exactly how I do the realistic windows and a little bit, just showing you a little bit inside Sony Vegas, but it will not be the movement of the camera movement, but I just want to show you with a little image how you could use the products with the windows inside Sony Vegas. Okay, so let's get started. First thing first, let's install a plugin, but actually let me show you exactly how to extract the file. Okay, so you have these two files here when you download it, and you extract it, and then it will come out like this. Once you extract it, like, just right click, because you have to have WinRAR now, WinRAR or zip, and you'll go to extract to RFW volume 1, and it will come out just like this. Okay, and if you have torrent, you'll most likely get this. When you extract it, do the same process and you'll have the same thing. Okay, so enough of that. Let's actually go inside our package and let's go. The first thing let's look at is our plugin for After Effects. Thing is about it is that the Real Camera Shake Pro comes with Mac and PC. Most likely for guys who have Mac, most likely they're using X-Plane, so they'll use it for that. And for guys them who actually have PC, most likely be using Flight Simulator X. So we go to Real Camera Shake Pro, and we go to Virtual Effects Pro, and all we need to do is copy this folder, copy it, local disk, wherever you install your After Effects or wherever you install your Adobe. Go to, well, I install mine in program files. Go to Adobe After Effects CS6, support files, and then you go to presets. Now I didn't put it in there, but I'm just gonna do it in there again. I'm just gonna click yes. I'm just gonna keep doing this right there. Replace, continue, and it'll do. Okay, so I could just delete one of these actually, because I don't think I need two of them in there. Okay, so we have the Real Camera Shake Pro. Okay, so we can X that out. First thing now we gotta do now is just go into After Effects. But before you go into After Effects, I just want to show you my Fsx recording render settings when you use the Alpha Fsx, not Alpha Fsx, the FX recorder Alpha. I think it's 2.18. This is how my settings look. I'm just gonna zoom in a bit. I hope y'all can see this clearly. I'm just gonna zoom in a little bit more. Okay, most likely video size, FXX window size to the fullest, 30 frames per second. You could go how much higher you want to go with that. Quality 100%, of course. Complexity 1. Well, most likely you just keep looking at this and you'll get the whole idea of it. Oh, and spend time on symmetry loading. Have that on high or ultra high. But sometimes when I had mine on ultra high, my FXX crashed. I didn't understand it for nothing. When I had on ultra high or something like that, it crashed on me. So I just would stick with high for right now until I could get me a much more better gaming system. So, well, I should say media workstation system. I should say, so that I could X that out. And this is what we're gonna be making today, okay, guys? We're gonna be making this. Now, I know y'all saw this in one of my videos called FXX camera movement, improve camera movement, and this is what we're gonna be making. Now you know this is a different window, different glass, and I have rain in this one. Now I know it's big daylight and I'm using rain, but I just want y'all to see the feel out. This is what I supposed to did for my up-to-date video, what I just bringed out. And this is how it looks. Okay, and that's how it supposed to look. Not too much rain, just that one layer of rain, and that was pretty much it. Okay? And there you go. You see how I doing the zoom effect, and I'm not moving none of those objects. It's just a camera by itself moving. The rod focus doing it by itself. It's just pretty awesome plugin. I like it. And with the camera movement, I mean, it's just amazing to me. Okay, just feel more realistic, and there's a reason why I love After Effects. I'm going to show you that in a bit. Okay, so I'm just gonna click pause. You know, you catch the whole idea. Now let's go into jump into After Effects. So most likely, and then did a whole session, and then did some rendering already. Pretty much just to do that one little video right there. So we go to our Final Cut and stuff like that. Now I'm just gonna explain this. I'm not gonna do this real over. I'm just gonna explain it to you quickly. Okay, so with this rain layer, you notice I duplicated a lot by pressing Control D. And I'm gonna do it again, Control D, and I just keep sliding it. I just keep sliding it around, and I just keep sliding because this is a very short little short movie clip. So that's what I just keep doing until I spread it, and I made that a whole one layer. And I'm going to teach you how to make a composition right soon. Then I went to layers, which you have all the different layers. And let me tell you what's so cool about it. You see the actual window frame. It's actually set on 3D, and I can actually rotate that. Okay, I can actually rotate it. I can scale it up. I can do exactly whatever I want to do with it to make it as real as I can get it. So I'm just gonna click undo, rotated object. Let me just do that again a couple times. Okay, that's pretty much it. And I have a little bit of blur effect on it. If I go to camera controls, I have fast blur on it, and then you could do color correction on it, which you could like go to effect and color correction. But anyhow, I'm gonna start all over anyhow. Then you have your final layer, and this is where the little trick comes in, where you have your layers, and then you have the adjustment layer, which is that blur effect got going on, the blurriness. And then you have your control, and this is where the trick that came in when I wanted that camera to go in interested points, because it's points of interest. And this was a very helpful tool with the position of where you want that camera to be. Okay, so I'm going to show you that, and so let's quickly jump in there. This may take 2 minutes. Okay, first thing first, let's go to project and let's import our files. Okay, most likely I'm gonna get my glass effect messy in there, messy. Okay, and I in the package now. Just let me just show you all that. I in the package, so I'm just gonna open it up, and you go to your rain effect. You know, you get your rain effect. Let's go back. The window frame collection. You know, you select whatever which one you want, you know, and then select that. Okay, that's pretty much it. And you select wherever you to save your movie. Okay, you go to your desktop, wherever you to save your movie, that's where you go. Okay, now once you import all of them in there, first thing you got to do now is just go to composition, new composition. This is my composition settings. Just take a little minute and look at how I have it set up, and you could go and do a lot of stuff, a lot of different HD settings. You could go 4K film, all those different settings. You just look through. That's why I like After Effects, because you could just do much more than what you could do in actual Sony Vegas. I'm not trying to diss Sony Vegas now, guys. I'm not trying to diss it. It's a good editing program too. But I just think this one could really pull it off better than when you're trying to pull off something more realistic. So I'm gonna click cancel. No, sorry, not cancel. So what I'm gonna do is, since I then made that rain layer, like I said, and this is how I made the composition, by just naming it rain layer, and then that was that composition. But I'm just gonna name this layers 2, because we're gonna do this whole process over. Layers 2. Okay, and we're gonna click OK. And what we're gonna do now is just, since we have layers 2, we have a blank stage here, and first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna drag our main clip in. Bam. If I scale out a bit by using the scroller on the mouse, that's what we see. Okay, so now what we need to do now is, you could color correction by just going to effect, color correction. You have all these different color corrections. I like curves the most. It's really a very helpful tool, but I never use color correction in none of my videos, to be honest with all of y'all. I never use color correction in none of them, except on the actual window frame. Like, I could do some dark stuff, some brighter stuff like that, But to be honest, I don't need the effect at all. So that's pretty cool. The next one is that I have to go to is the rain layer. Sorry, I just forgot what I needed to put in there. The rain layer. Okay, this is how you put it in order. Okay, so first is the rain layer, and you notice the rain layer is 2. But what we're gonna do right now, we're gonna duplicate this rain layer. Duplicate it. On the first one, just scroll all the way down like to 30 or so like that, or right there. So there we have that right there. And what we need to do is keyframe the bottom one and say, when it comes to like halfway on that runway, which I'm just gonna scale up a bit, to moving, this is what we need to have. And what we need to put here is we need to say keyframe it, and then when we scroll out a bit, because it's moving fast now, and what we want to do is bring it down, because we want that to fade. We want the one we're pushing it down to fade out. I noticed I didn't do it in the final, just a little preview I just showed y'all, but this is how I do it. And this one, you rotate it by getting the rotation tool, and you rotate it, which is very cool. You see that? You can just zoom in a little bit. You don't want to zoom in too much because you don't want it to be all, swiggle up and all of that. Just zoom that in there a little bit more. Okay, that's pretty much good looking. Okay, so then all you just start seeing that coming in and just start fading out. Okay, so that's pretty much how I do the transition with the rain. 2. Now let's go to our actual third layer, which is the window. Okay, you can leave it this size, and if you have a bigger image, you scale it up. Okay, what I'm gonna do here now, I'm gonna click toggle switches. Now sometimes After Effects might pop up with the switches like this, or sometimes you just have to toggle switch it, and then you'll have like the different things you really added in. But I'm gonna toggle switch right now, and I'm gonna go to normal, and this way you go to add, or you could choose screen, which is the real thing you should use. Now before we move on, let's put some effects in there. We need to clear that up a bit by using first the color correction. Let's just do it down a bit, just a little bit, like right there. And another effect we need to use is blur, and we could fast blur it a bit. If you notice what just happened just now. Okay, that's better. Making it feel as real as we can get it. Okay, that's enough for the rain. For the window, sorry. Now, next thing is where we need to head is the window. That's the last thing to be. Now, most people have this problem in Sony Vegas, right? Now, this is why I like After Effects. I could do this any which way I want to. I could do all kind of way. I don't have no problems. Very smooth, nothing. I could do whatever I feel like doing. can scale it up to here. I can drag it down a bit. I can move it up. And this way I like this so cool. Remember when I tell you about the toggle switches? I click toggle switches and I can put this in 3D. Watch the cool effect about this one. This is where I say you can make it more realistic. I am now going to rotate it like that. Rotate it a little bit. Get it like that. Make it more to the side to make it feel like this dude really in that plane. And then, like I said, you can scale it up a little bit more. Sorry, let me select that again. Just scale it up a little bit more and move it around. Bam! That's your whole hit right there. And now let's move on to the next problem now, since we didn't solve that out. Now we finished with that, and like I said, you could color correct this PNG window too again by going to effect and put a fast blur on it. And I'm gonna zoom in a bit. Actually, I'm just gonna click fit and watch this. I could blur that out to making the camera look like it really just ain't it just really focusing more on the outside more of it. Then I'll use another effect called curves, which I like the most. It's the best color correction ever. I could dim it down, I could brighten it up, I could do all kind of stuff with this, you know. And if you know when they cut off the cabin lights, it's be a little dim, a little bit. So you can keep it like that. So that's pretty much it. Okay, so that's enough for your layers. Now our final thing, our final comp, which we call final, or whatever you want to call it. I'm just gonna put final 2. Final 2. Same settings. Okay. Now I'm gonna drag layers 2 into final comp. Okay. This is where the effect comes in. I'm gonna clear this out. Okay, because then most likely After Effects will start you up on the character side. So when you go to the effects side, you're wondering where I'm gonna find this plugin now. All you have to do, click the little search box and type in real cam, or instead of doing that, all you have to do is go to animation presets, and you'll see real camera shake pro. Just like that. It'll just come up exactly straight up to you like that. Straight up. And you'll have effects pro, and you'll have all out of rest, and you should be straight. And see, I just gone to that same one file, and I have the mid, I have the moderate, and I have the shaky. Now the moderate, I think I am pronouncing that word right, but anyway, sorry about it if I am pronouncing it right. So all I have to do now is just drag this onto my main layer. Okay, you see how the lines around, you can start seeing that blackness, the comp, the main background, you can start seeing that. You don't want that. So what you need to do to this layer is you need to scale this up. I think it's really to cross the most. Like widen it. Don't widen it and try even it up the best way you can, or just scale it up and you get rid of the blackness all during ghetto. You just get rid of it all and everything will still look a little even, and you could adjust it more, get a little bit more center, and the more it goes, it'll just be moving around like how you saw it. But then some people will still see that blackness, so that's why the letterbox is really important of what you put in. Okay, and I think I put that in the package, my letterbox, which you can just add on in Final Cut. Okay, and that's pretty much it for that. Okay, and oh, sorry, not even for that. Really, we gotta go back to our plugin, which is over here. Okay, our slider. I have it at 1 point something, and it's the average held camera in real life. And I know y'all might not know what it means, or some of y'all might know what it means. What I mean by is literally the actual rate of actual any human held camera. But if you're landing and thing like that, I think you could try test it out, or go to shaky, or put in shaky and keyframe it. And then like if you put in shaky, you know, like keyframe it a bit, like, okay, this the effects, and I want it to be modern and normal, but then I add shaky too. So now we have two. So we have scale 2, which we have here. So we can have a much more dynamic stuff. So what we're gonna do now, we're just gonna put this at 0, 0, and we're gonna lock it, because we want it to be modern it until we get to like at least, say example, sorry, hold on, say example like 40, 45, then you want it to be more rocky as it goes. But I only use this if I'm landing, and that's why I'm doing this keyframe like that. Okay, I'm doing the keyframe like that because then now I could raise it up and run out with it. You know, it'll be running right out. You see how it's really getting out of hand? I would really use the shakiness when it comes to landing. Okay, guys, use shaky when it comes to landing. So I can just delete this. That's pretty much it. Okay, but use modern when it's taken off, or it's when it's taxiing, and just keep it at 1 point something, or you could rise it up. It's up to you. Okay, it's really up to you, and it should be very useful and helpful for y'all. Okay, so I think, like I said, just use shakiness for landing. Okay, and keyframe it that way. So now let's add our camera. This is where the trick comes in, and the great trick right here. What I did figure it out how to actually, if I want to zoom with actual camera whilst the movement is happening, and I want to focus on a point. That is why when I showed you all my render settings is very important. So I'm going to go to layer, new camera, okay, and now I'm going to just, okay, I'm just going to point this down, then you know you point transform. This is where the cool trick comes in, okay. Now just gonna click fit. Now since I have this in fit, what I'm gonna show you is this cool thing. Okay, now watch this carefully. I'm gonna highlight both of these. I'm gonna click keyframe, and it's only sitting in exactly that one place. Now I could be moving this around, but you don't see nothing happening, right? You don't see nothing happening, nothing ain't changing. But now watch this. Watch when I toggle the switch. Oh, sorry, I did add it there. And my layers have the 3D inbox, and I click it for 3D. And now watch when I do transform again. Watch this cool effect. Like literally zoom around. That's the cool thing right there, if that's how you want to really know exactly how you do it. Then I could actually take the point of interest. This is where I figure out where I want to point it to say, hey, exactly where I want it to focus. So now I go and scroll that up where it's 640. So I want to move that around and get it sliding over here, and I use 360 and I point it up. And if you notice outside this whole box, you can see the translation is moving, right? But then you don't really want it to be that. You don't want it to start off like that. So let's just click reset, and it reset for both areas. So first thing first, let's scroll it up. Copy these by going to edit, copy, then edit, paste. And I go to 30 seconds. 30 seconds allows me to zoom in. I'm going to zoom in. And then for the top half of interest point, and want to go across a little bit, and then I want to go up a little bit, just to say, hey, I want to focus more on this blue area here, on this sky part right here, and I have it got going on. Now this is the same thing what you do for the blurriness. All you have to do when you add your adjustment layer, all you actually have to do is just do it at the exact same point, and you should be good to go. Okay, the exact same point, and you won't have no worries at all. Now you wanted to go back to his main area. It's really simple. All you have to do, let's just go halfway on that, right? All you have to do is just highlight again, copy. Don't copy the effect now, because let me tell you, I wanted to start off normal, and I wanted to keep it normal until I get to 15 seconds, and then while it's like at 25 seconds, I think this out of, oh, actually 26 seconds, you want it to actually point that way. But then when it comes out of 26 seconds, it goes back to its normal route. So I'm just going to click now, paste, and it's back to normal, just like how you had it. And you see, your camera is really moving your image. Now this is where I think you should still go back to your layers too, and still try to just widen it out a bit, but you don't want it to go too, just want it to really push it, so when it gets in these little far half and places and start doing those little funny moves, because let me tell you, don't worry about the top and the bottom, don't worry about that. That's what the letterbox for, again, once I'm saying. And that's pretty much it, and that's the whole trick. You know, that's the whole trick. And I really hope this was really a helpful tutorial. And oh, and another thing is how I do those windows. It was pretty much easy. I'm just gonna go to project, make a new composition. And I'm just gonna get that window here there. Where is it? Window layer. Oh, right there. I'm gonna drag that in here. And you notice you see it, right? And all you have to do is just bring an image in, go to the pen tool, and you just start cutting. Just cut. But see, I did mine gentle. You know, I really cut like this. But that's just how I cut, you know. And then when I cut, you see, you don't see it no more because I didn't close the cut. And when I go to my pen tool, all I did was go to mask 1, and I go on to add, to subtract, and then that's what I got back. So that was the cool trick of how I did all those windows, and I just render it out as a PNG file, and I'm going to show you how to render right now too. I'm just going to X that out. That's how I did it, and I'll show you how to render. Copy composition. No, sorry. Select your final. Go to composition, add to render queue, and you'll see it right here. And you know, you get all these different settings. My favorite settings is H246. I like it. It's a very high MP4 right here. I just click OK, and where you wanted to save on your desktop, whatever file you wanted to save, and that's pretty much it. Then you just click the render queue button, and then that's how it goes. I just click stop on that. Okay, so for the guys then who actually wants to know about Sony Vegas crew. Okay, so let's go and find Sony Vegas. I don't even use this program no more, but then y'all quickly see if I can find this right here. This is the portable version. I'm just gonna click pause for right now until this load up. Okay, I'm back. Okay, I'm just gonna do this quick. Just import a couple files and that's it. First thing I'm gonna do is just gonna import this window ATR. This was somebody, I think his name was oh, I forget his name, but anyhow, I'll show you. I know he was talking about this and he wasn't seeing it now, and then he's saying the size of this whole screen was huge or something like that, and it wouldn't scale up to how he wanted. Okay, let's see if we can figure out that. Okay, let me go to, let me go to my libraries. No, actually, I'm gonna go to videos. I'm just gonna select something here. I'm gonna select nothing much. Oh, I'll go to documents. Sorry, I forgot. Go to documents. Find wherever you found that shot. That shot. I'm just gonna click open. It's there. I'm dragging it in there. And this what he must be trying to say, that this what he don't see. I'm just gonna, sorry, I did this wrong just now. Okay, this is how it's supposed to look actually. Now it's really difficult, and that's why I like now you all see why I really kinda like After Effects. Okay, sorry about that. Let's see what we can do here. And then see, this is what you just have to go through, and this is what I don't like, because it's really difficult. I don't really understand this part of why they made this look like this, but this is how I do it. I just try this is why I use two screens. I can't really see this other one, so let me just try to make it downsize this a little smaller. Okay, that's better, until I can really fit it in here. So it's like you have to go to the same average of the same size of the same box, but then you notice you ain't getting exactly what you want. That's the only way this actually could work. To be honest with you, this is the only way this can work, is if you figure out exactly how you're actually gonna put it in there for the video to actually work. You have to downsize it exactly how you see it, and it's really difficult, and this is why I don't like it. This is really why I don't really like Sony Vegas. It's like something that you gotta tie up to making it fit that screen, and it just be ridiculous. Like now I gotta zoom in just to get that right point. So you have to get the right point at the same size, and then you have to scale it up just like that. Now I still ain't getting it, and it's really difficult when you're trying to scale it up, because that is why I say use After Effects a little bit more, because it's really difficult when you're really working with these type of windows. I couldn't cut these out by scaling them up, and then I cut them out. I lose its resolution that way, in a way. And when I cutting them out, it wasn't really as easy when you putting it out like that. So once I know how to cut it out like that, then I let the resolution be as high as it can be, and then it will look like this. Now you notice the resolution is not messed up. It's on best and on full, and most likely this is what I have to do. It's like I have to keep scrolling through until I can get it, scrolling through until I can get it, scrolling through. And then you don't want all of that, because then all you want is that one image stretched properly on your window, just like how we have it in After Effects right here. And that is the reason why I like After Effects a little bit more, because it's just more quicker, easier way. It's a quick setup. All I gotta do, set up exactly how I want it, do the effect I want, and get it over with. You know how much things I could do with this? I could actually go to say for example I made a layout and I just wanted a solid. All I needed to do was just go to Video Copilot. Say example I wanted some 3D text. I go to layout and I go to solid and I just say hey white. But then I want must me say effects. I go to optical flares like what you see in Transformers. Or I want element 3D, which can allow me to put in 3D elements, and I can put in much more. Like I can make my own flight simulator by making realistic, taking photoreality and making it in a 3D format and giving it exactly what I want. So that's pretty much it of that, and that's how come I came up with the idea, and I say, hey, just use After Effects. I think it will just get your job done. And then I think when you finish rendering, that's when you might go in Sony Vegas, add in your music, add in your real sound underneath the actual track, and do it from there, because it'll be much more easier and running through all of that hard work, doing it through a bunch of layers just to try to figure this out, and trying to scale up the best way you can just to get that whole full coverage. Like I say, use After Effects, guys, for this kind of effect. It has the plugin, it has everything what you need, and I know this might feel like a long tutorial to you, but trust me, this is gonna help. This will help you to make realistic looks and stuff like that. Another thing, I think someone asked me, how do I make that 3D looking package look? Like for example this. Okay, how I made this 3D package. Cinema 40, guys. Cinema 40. That's my favorite thing. Cinema 40. That's exactly what I used to make that package. Cinema 40. If I go to package, icons, go. All this was made in Cinema 4D. Actually, I'm gonna pause it and show you. Okay, guys, this is Cinema 4D right here. And it's pretty much, I modeled this package. It was really a quick easy way of modeling, and I have my experience in 3D. I do a lot of stuff in 3D. That's how you all see my intro with AP base transforming out of it and things like that. And it's just a pretty cool thing I had to pick up, because me and my friends then we were making this game. So it's pretty much me modeling and doing a little bit of programming with my friends. Them it's just a lot of work. So because we really trying to bring out this Bohemian game, so it's pretty much it. And that's how you render it out, and making models. But I will be making 3D models, tutorials, and I will be bringing out Fsx movies. That should be the next thing I'll be working on. Fsx movies, and keep working on realistic FXX on trying to push reality to the fullest. So I hope you all enjoyed this tutorial. Thanks for watching. You can check out my channel. You can check out my channel here. Subscribe, like, and if you want to look up more at the camera, on the camera plugin, they do a little bit of updates. I think they do. You can just look through and get exactly what you want, 3D, shake, and all of those stuff, real cam. Our Facebook page, you could keep going through all of that. So I hope this is really helpful, guys, and thanks for watching. Just check out everything and look at all my videos from back then, and see my older 3D logos. Just gonna quickly run down here. Yeah, so that's pretty much on the wing view and how I really is making it look so real and stuff like that. So all the links, downloads and stuff like that will be in the description, and the package, everything like that. So I hope you all enjoy this. You can see a lot of stuff on my page, a lot of old stuff. There's another thing I made in Cinema 40. so much, you know. This is the game here, what me and my friends don't want to bring out, with Bahama Outlaws on it. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it. And these are my other logo stuff, so check them out, check out my products, stuff like that. This is one of my favorite images I ever made. It's pretty awesome to me. Sorry, I should go back, and I should just, you know, bigger this up a bit. This is pretty much one of my favorite pictures of all times. Well, y'all know about that. This is really my favorite. How I have that tree there. So anyhow, guys, I'm talking too much and making it all a little too long, and sorry about that for being long like that. And I hope this is really helpful. So let me know, give me comments, you know, like and subscribe, and just let me know what is what, and I'll try my best to help you out the best way I can. Okay, the best way I can, guys. Alright, so see you later.